Welcome back to Surviving Solo. Today, this episode is just going to be building a couple little market stalls, or at least the starts of them, in this sort of little area. And I have a rough idea of what I want them to look like, but also at the same time, absolutely no idea of what I want them to look like. It's going to be a bit of a as it goes situation. Suppose I could have probably... Nope, I have committed to building it there. It can be built there. 1, 2... That is not 3. That is also not 3. That's 3. 1, 2... 3. Oh, I really did not count that. That's also the wrong fence. That fence. 1, 2, and 3. So there'll be a couple with this sort of design. Of course, there will be a little canopy made out of wool, depending on how long it takes for me to get to putting the canopy on them. Depends on whether I'll be making them out of the canopies out of carpet or, wool slabs. There is a very high chance that I leave putting roofs on them until then. Yeah, a couple like this, a couple they'll kind of freestyle to a degree. And a little bench. I'm going to try and keep to the schedule I've been uploading to, as much as it's only I have a semi sort of, I upload every so many days, but I may not have may not have as much time at the moment. Well, they're going to be facing different directions, but that is fine. But yeah. I don't have as much time at the moment to be playing and recording and editing. So I'll try and stick to the schedule I've been going by, but it might have to change depending on the time I have. I'm going to end up with these facing every which way. That is the wrong piece. Yeah, sort of that distance. And some sleep. Well, you're not supposed to be in there. I feel like I should think of a pun. Nah. The only thing that came to mind was that that's a sticky situation, and I don't think that's quite a good enough joke to make. Anyway. 1, 2, 3. Little alleyway. Have some good spilling out here. Might have some stuff spilling out over there. I could probably face it that way, actually. It's only going to be an itty bitty little one. Well, it's not the brightest pop of colour on the landscape, but it will probably be, or it'll be a lot brighter once I actually add little covers to them. Actually, I'll have a quick look at how that's going for now. Ow. Yeah, there'll be a whole heap of them. Just sort of around this little area, maybe down to there. Something down here. Yep. And a quick trip back here. I have to grow more. Hey, but that one. Out. Probably here. Of course, I'm going to make it look a little bit better than that probably, but well, a lot better, bit better than that. Nope. Lag. Much lag. That's a bit better. Yeah. Some bales. Maybe some more wheat stuff around. Well, it's not the most glamorous looking start to a market. Actually, I'll quickly... no, I'll leave it like that for now. That's a rough little idea. Actually, no, I will very quickly. I have to dye the wool before I do that. That one. I can use both. I can use both. It's not what it's going to look like in the end, but for 5 seconds, probably do. Yeah. Little canopies on each of them. They might have different designs, especially if I leave off putting, covers on them until the newest snapshot comes out as an update. Which is very likely. So yeah, not as much progress as I would have liked towards everything. But the markets have been started. I suppose this is really looking all the way back to one of the very first episodes. Might have been episode 2 or 3, maybe 1. I did say that once we hit 10 subscribers, that you would all get to have a chance to suggest a name for a dog. It was going to be Adorabelle, but I felt bad with her not having a name. And Chester, they're all named. So, there is still, I'm holding chicken, so I've got the puppy dog stairs. There is there's a few options. Either I can rename, you see it's smaller than normal, Adorabelle. I can tame a new wolf. Oh. And you can suggest a name. Or you can suggest another passive or neutral critter. You can choose, and you can suggest a name for that one. Which might put it up as a poll later on. But anyway, I think that is about all I have time for in this episode. I'll see you next time.